Hello folks, happy to see you again and hoping that you are safe and health. So here we are to do our next lab again. We are on our fourth lab. So let's take a review uh, what we have done till now. We have done lab 1 in which we see GCP Cloud Console and Cloud Shell from which we used to make a cloud storage bucket. Then we see infrastructure preview in our lab 2. In that lab we use Marketplace to build a Jenkins continuous integration environment. If you don't see the video, please go and check out that video too. And in our last lab, that is lab 3, we make a VPC network with two modes. We see there are three modes: a default mode, custom mode, and an auto mode. So with the help of those lectures, we are going to do this lab here. So basically in this lab, we are going to implement a private Google Access and Cloud NAT. That is, we are going to make a private Google Access and Cloud NAT for a VM instance that does not have an external IP address, that is public IP address. We do not as we know that external IP address is optional and internal IP address is mandatory. So in this lab we will remove the external IP address from the VM instance and make our instance. Let's see what are its objective. Configure a VM instance that does not have an external IP address. A VM instance using IAP tunnel. Enable private Google Access Cloud Net Gateway. So let me set up my thing. So yeah, here I set up my things. If you don't know how to set up your lab, you can read these things. So what is our next task? The task 1 is create a VM instance. So what we are going to do, we will create a VPC network. So let's go, and now we will create a VM instance. But before this, we will create a VPC market. On going to our navigation menu, I will search for VPC network and then VPC networks, and then we will create a VPC network. The one you see is the default VPC network that comes with a project. Now we will give it a name, private net, no description, subnet custom. Okay, and then let me copy this things. These things are already predefined. That's why we only use these things. If you think you can use any other thing, you can do, but it will take some time to you to learn. So let me copy and then click on done and then create, and then now we will create some firewall rules. So here I click on firewall in the left pane. Here are some default firewall rules. I have already discussed these rules in my previous lab. You can go in a lab 3 and check it out. So I'm going to select all these rules. Let me create firewall rules. No, I will. Here the need is to create firewall rules. Let me deselect this. Yeah, it's deselect. Okay, got it. And I will give the name of this is. Let me copy these things too, because this is sensitive things and they are also predefined. The network is private net, no matching network. How this is SSL network private net. This let me check the network. Is it create or not? I don't know how, but the network we create is not created. We have to create it again. Custom what was the reason this was central one? Okay. Oh, I think I did not define the IP address. So it's done. What is it saying? It's already in use. But if we see, we do not get that. Yeah, here it comes. Then now if we go again here and we will again copy this name and click here and then network. Yeah, here. Before it was not coming, it is not showing. I don't know why, but when I refresh the page, it comes. You know what the thing is, we always need to explore these things, because after this thing we will not get any chance. It is in TCP and we will give TCP 22 and then we'll create. It will take some time. You don't have required permission to view firewall policies. Let me refresh. So here you can see the our rule has been shown here. Then we will create an VM instance with no public IP address. So I will go to compute engine. Yeah, here it is, and then VM instances, and then we will create a VM instance with no external IP address. I can write the values too, but I prefer to copy the values because it is sensitive. So let me copy these things. uh, yeah, I will prefer to take C because it is in there. Not easy. First transition. DB and boot disk. Okay, and then we'll click this. Here we will do network interface and add it and give private net. This network we had made before, and this is range and subnetwork private US external IP none. So here is the step where we will do external IP none and done, and then we'll create an instance. And the thing we have to do is create a VM instance with no external IP. That is, here when it is made, external IP will be none. So let it take time. Here it is almost finished, and now you can see external IP is none. So our task has been completed. You can check it here. Then if you want to these things too, you can do it too, but I don't prefer to do. Did the command or change to VM internal? I will say yes. If you want to do these things, you can do, but I don't prefer to do. Then I will do my task to enable private Google access. So basically, VM instance that has no external IP address can use a private Google access to reach external IP address of Google APIs and service. So what we do, we will go to VPC network again. Let me go to navigation menu and VPC network here, and then VPC networks, and then I will click here, and I will edit and on this private Google access and save. This will take some time. Till then we will read these things. Shit. We forgot to create a bucket, but no worry, now we can make a bucket on going to storage, cloud storage, then browser, then we will create a bucket. Do subscribe, okay, and then we will choose the location where you want to store the data, multi-region, okay, and then create. So the bucket is here, you can see. Do subscribe. Now we will copy an image into a file. Let me copy this. It's in cloud shell here. Let me close this. Continue. Here we will write the name of our bucket. Do subscribe and authorize and the cloud shall replace what we are going to do. We are going to do, you can see that the image has been copied here, a cloud shell. Okay, now we will try to copy the image from your bucket. So we are going to change this name again. What was the name of bucket? Do subscribe. And going on to class, I will enter. Here you can see copying. This should work because shell has an external IP address. So from this point you can know that the cloud shell has its own external IP address. Now to connect with vmintel, run this command. I will run this command and enter. Do you want to continue? Press Y. From the try to continue, to try to copy in the replacing, generating public, enter passphrase. So we don't have passphrase, that's why we are trying to copy from here. I don't know why it is not working. This is not working when I copy and try to paste because VM internal can only send traffic within the VPC network because private Google access is disabled by default. And I will press C to stop and hope it stops. Now what we are going to do, we are going to enable Google private access, what we have done already. So now we can check our progress. Yes, then we will try to copy and visit. I don't know why this has been stopped. Now we will configure a cloud gateway. Opening again the cloud shell. We will wait till it's done. It is done. Here you can see it is done. Now to follow this command and enter. Prompted right by again Control C to stop. Control C to stop. Yeah. Now we'll configure a cloud net gateway. So will we go here and cloud network, network services. here, then cloud entity. I here. Let me close this, get started, and let me copy these things again. And VPC network, private net that we have already made, and region US Central C1, and for cloud router create new router name, type NAT router, and create. You can create and then create and then create, and it will take some time, and let it take time. So it's done. Now you can check your progress. It's done. The lab has been completed, but they give you extra time that you can see 1 hour is left, approx 1 hour. This time is given to you to explore the things. You can run these commands, you can know what is the use of these commands, what is cloud net logging. These things enables you to explore more other things. You can do whatever you want to do till 1 hour. So I will explore myself, and yeah, it's done. So we will leave here. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Bye.